The true believer is rewarded in everything, even in affliction. He who prays 5 times a day is in the protection of God. And he who is protected by God cannot be harmed by anyone. Do not deceive or be faithless even with your enemy. He who becomes a Muslim does so in his own interest. The more knowledge you have, the greater will be your fear of Allah. Do not follow vain desires, for verily he who prospers is preserved from lust, greed and anger. Muslims should live like brother. Have an earnestness for death and you will have life. Cursed is the man who dies, but the evil done by him survives. The greatest truth is honesty, and the greatest falsehood is dishonesty. Jihad is obligatory for the Muslims. The people who abandon jihad fall a victim to humility and degradation. Intentions count in your actions. Knowledge is the life of the mind. God helps those who fear Him. O man, you are busy working for the world, and the world is busy trying to turn you out. Our abode in this world is transitory, our life therein is but alone, our breaths are numbered and our indolence is manifest. When an honorable person obtains knowledge, it humbles him, and when a legislator obtains knowledge, he becomes proud. When you advise any person, you should be guided by the fear of God. Do not get elated at any victory, for all such victory is subject to the will of God. One of the worst sins is a person taking his sins lightly. Justice and fairness are good, nay, it is better. Life comes to pass, yet death is very much closer. Beware of pride, because you will be returning to the earth, and your body will be eaten up by the worms. In the matter of justice, all should be equal in your eyes. Allah will help him who moves in the way of Allah. Run away from greatness and greatness will follow you. If you want to control other people, first control yourself. Solitude is better than the society of evil persons. He who aspires to paradise should learn to deal with people with kindness. Pride in the case of a rich man is bad, but pride in the case of a poor man is worse. He who indulges in falsehood will find the paths of paradise shut to him. Taking pains to remove the pains of others is the true essence of generosity. He should know that his heart is empty of faith when good advice has no avail upon him. Maybe a thing that you do not like is really in your interest. It is possible that a thing that you may desire may be against your interest. Do not look down upon any Muslim, for even the most inferior believer is great in the eyes of God. Always fear Allah, like if only one person was to go to hell, it could be you. God blesses him who helps his brother. Never get disappointed from Allah, like if only one person was to go to Jannah, it could be you. You should not quarrel with your neighbor, for he will remain where he is, but your high-handedness will become the talk of the people. He who fears to weep, should learn to be kind to those who weep. If an ignorant person is attracted by the things of the world, that is bad. But if a learned person is thus attracted, it is worse. He who is not impressed by sound advice, lacks faith. To fight against the infidels is jihad, but to fight against your evil self is greater jihad. Be good to others, that will protect you against evil. It is a matter of shame that in the morning the birds should be awake earlier than you. A man who is shy and modest is an amazing character, but a woman who is shy and modest is beyond amazing. The foundation for all a person's troubles is his speech. Solitude is better than a society of evil people. Cursed is the without knowledge action is useless and knowledge without action is futile. Man, who dies, but the evil done by him survives. When you seek advice, do not withhold any facts from the person whose advice you seek. Follow the way of life, which the Holy Prophet has shown you, for verily that is the right path. Do not cut down a fruit-bearing tree. There is greatness in the fear of God, contentment and faith of God, and honor and humility. Use the same measure for selling that you use for purchasing. Good conduct is when one does not require reward in exchange for a good deed. If you expect the blessings of God, be kind to his people. He who avoids complaint invites happiness. Piety is the most solid goodness, and the vilest of what is evil is vice. He who builds a masjid in the way of Allah, God will build a house for him in the paradise. When knowledge is limited, it leads to folly. When knowledge exceeds a certain limit, it leads to exploitation.